expansion was discussed both at a committee level and at the board, and ultimately the league office was tasked by our board with doing an in-depth.
What if one rookie became so powerful that even the biggest names in basketball couldn't convince her to say yes? Imagine the most powerful executives in professional basketball spending months planning what they believed would become the biggest television event of the decade, only to watch their entire strategy fall apart because one young superstar simply walked away. For months, speculation surrounded an ambitious crossover event designed to bring together some of basketball's biggest names. The vision was simple: create a historic showcase capable of attracting millions of viewers and reigniting excitement around All-Star Weekend. But according to widespread reports and industry discussion at the time, everything depended on one player agreeing to participate. That player was Caitlin Clark. When Clark ultimately decided not to take part, the conversation instantly shifted. What had been expected to become one of the biggest basketball spectacles of the year suddenly became one of the sport's most talked about stories. To understand why her decision generated so much attention, you have to look at the situation surrounding All-Star Weekend itself. For several years, many fans had argued that the traditional All-Star format had lost some of its excitement. Exhibition games often lacked defensive intensity, television audiences fluctuated, and league officials continued searching for new ways to capture fans' attention. Networks investing billions of dollars in broadcasting rights wanted an event capable of creating genuine excitement across the sports world. They weren't simply looking for another exhibition. They wanted a cultural moment. They wanted something that would dominate headlines, explode across social media, and bring casual fans back to the television. Then, early in 2024, they found what many believed was the perfect blueprint. The three-point challenge featuring Stephen Curry and Sabrina Ionescu became one of the biggest highlights of All-Star Weekend. The competition generated enormous television ratings, millions of online views, and widespread discussion throughout the basketball community. Fans loved the competitive atmosphere. Media outlets covered it non-stop. Social media couldn't stop talking about it. Naturally, many believed the next step was obvious. If one crossover event created that much excitement, imagine how much bigger the next one could become. Plans quickly centered around building an even larger showcase. The reported vision featured basketball icons like Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Sabrina Ionescu, and the fastest rising star in the entire sport, Caitlin Clark. Many analysts believed that matchup had the potential to become one of the most-watched skills competitions in basketball history. But there was one major obstacle. None of it could happen without Caitlin Clark. Behind the scenes, according to multiple reports and widespread industry speculation, convincing Clark to participate became one of the highest priorities surrounding the event. Everyone understood what her presence meant. Every time Clark stepped onto the court, television audiences increased. Ticket demand skyrocketed. Social media engagement exploded. Merchandise sales climbed. Her games consistently became some of the most watched events in women's basketball history. Because of that growing popularity, many believed her appearance would instantly transform the competition into must-watch television. Reports suggested numerous conversations took place as organizers explored different possibilities. From a business perspective, it seemed like the perfect opportunity. Clark would share the stage with some of basketball's greatest shooters while appearing before one of the largest audiences of her young career. On paper, it looked like an easy decision. But basketball isn't always about business, and Caitlin Clark had different priorities. When news emerged that Clark would not participate, the reaction surprised many throughout the sports world. Commentators debated the decision. Fans questioned why someone would decline such a high-profile opportunity. Industry insiders openly discussed what it could mean for the event moving forward. For Clark, however, the situation looked very different. She had just completed one of the busiest stretches any young player could experience. After finishing an exhausting collegiate career, she immediately transitioned into the physical demands of a full WNBA season with very little time to recover. Night after night, she faced aggressive defenses, constant pressure, and intense media attention unlike anything most rookies experience. Every arena sold out. Every game attracted national headlines. Every performance became part of a much larger conversation about the future of women's basketball. Rather than adding another major commitment during an already demanding schedule, Clark chose to focus on recovery, long-term development, and preparing for the next stage of her career. That single decision instantly changed the conversation. Instead of discussing the biggest crossover event in basketball, everyone was suddenly talking about the player who chose not to participate, and that unexpected turn would spark an even bigger debate about star power, player influence, and the changing balance of power throughout professional basketball. As Clark's decision became public, the conversation quickly expanded far beyond a single exhibition event. Sports talk shows, basketball podcasts, and social media platforms filled with debates about what her choice meant, not only for All-Star Weekend, but for the changing relationship between athletes, leagues, broadcasters, and fans. Some analysts argued that organizers underestimated just how demanding Clark's rookie season had been. Others believed the proposed event simply came at the wrong time. Regardless of where people stood, one thing became clear. The decision had sparked one of the biggest basketball conversations of the year. According to reports circulating at the time, league officials and broadcast partners continued exploring possibilities, hoping there might still be a path forward. But Clark remained focused on something much bigger than a single showcase. She had just completed one of the most physically demanding seasons of her basketball career, transitioning directly from a deep Farm and several other global brands had already established her as one of the most marketable athletes in professional sports. Those partnerships gave Clark something few rookies have ever possessed: freedom. Unlike many young athletes who depend almost entirely on league opportunities to build their public profile, Clark had already developed one of the strongest personal brands in sports. Her popularity reached millions of fans across multiple platforms. Her games generated record-breaking audiences. Her endorsements continued expanding. Because of that, many observers believed she no longer needed every promotional opportunity presented to her. She could choose the events that best aligned with her long-term goals. That represented a significant shift in modern sports. For decades, leagues largely controlled the biggest stages, the largest audiences, and the most valuable promotional opportunities. Now, superstar athletes were building enormous audiences of their own. Millions of fans followed Clark directly. They watched her games regardless of the opponent. They purchased tickets specifically to see her play. They followed her career across every platform. That growing independence changed the conversation surrounding player influence. Instead of relying entirely on traditional league marketing, today's biggest stars increasingly carried their own audiences wherever they competed. Clark's decision became one of the clearest examples of that changing landscape. Rather than following expectations, she made the choice she believed best supported her career. Whether fans agreed or disagreed, the decision demonstrated that athletes were beginning to exercise greater control over their schedules, workloads, and long-term priorities. And as that debate continued growing, another question started dominating basketball discussions. If one player's decision could generate this much attention, just how much influence had Caitlin Clark already gained during her rookie season? As debates surrounding Clark's decision continued growing, another reality became impossible to ignore. Her popularity wasn't slowing down. If anything, it was reaching an entirely new level. Every Indiana Fever game continued attracting enormous television audiences. Ticket demand remained at record levels. Opposing teams regularly moved games into larger arenas simply to accommodate the overwhelming number of fans hoping to watch Clark play in person. The numbers spoke for themselves. Week after week, Fever broadcasts ranked among the most-watched games in the WNBA. Social media engagement reached historic highs. Highlight clips spread across every major platform within minutes. Whether fans supported her or criticized her, everyone was paying attention. That growing influence naturally changed the conversation surrounding the proposed crossover event. Many analysts argued that Clark's biggest value wasn't tied to one exhibition competition. It was tied to what she consistently brought to every regular season game. Every appearance generated headlines. Every performance created new storylines. Every nationally televised game attracted millions of viewers eager to watch her play. From a business standpoint, that level of star power was difficult to ignore. Television executives constantly searched for athletes capable of attracting casual fans. Sponsors look for personalities who create excitement beyond the game itself. Clark had already become one of those rare athletes. She wasn't simply drawing traditional basketball audiences. She was introducing entirely new viewers to women's basketball. Families watched together. Young athletes followed every game. Casual sports fans who rarely watched the WNBA suddenly became invested in Indiana Fever matchups. That kind of influence doesn't happen often. It can't be manufactured. It has to happen naturally. Because of that, discussions surrounding Clark increasingly shifted away from individual performances and toward her overall impact on the sport. Many commentators argued that she had become one of the most influential athletes in basketball, regardless of league. At the same time, television networks reportedly continued exploring creative ways to feature Clark in future events. According to industry reports, organizers considered different formats, scheduling adjustments, and alternative ideas that might better fit her calendar. The goal remained the same: find a way to bring one of the biggest stars in basketball onto the biggest possible stage. But Clark's priorities appeared unchanged. Her focus remained on improving her game, helping Indiana compete, and building a long-term career rather than chasing short-term publicity. That approach earned praise from many former athletes. Several analysts argued that protecting physical health and avoiding unnecessary workload had become increasingly important in modern professional sports. Others pointed out that athletes today understand their value better than ever before. Instead of saying yes to every opportunity, many now carefully evaluate how each decision fits into their larger career goals. Clark's situation became one of the clearest examples of that changing mindset. Meanwhile, the conversation also highlighted another important